later. That's the way it needs to be done. Just make sure I don't have anybody else in the waiting room that I can see. Okay, we are ready to get started. Awesome. Am I recording?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, perfect. Thank you everybody for joining me today for this virtual live coaching event. And I'm going to really be working with you on 3 steps to transform your life. So in case you don't already know me, I think most people on here do, but if you're watching the recording, my name is Leanne Javidoni, and I worked as a physiotherapist for over 20 years. I no longer hold my license. I retired. For 15 of the past years, I've worked as what I call a wellness coach because I do so many things. There's not really a title that really captures all the things I do, but everything's around wellness, about how to improve your overall health of your body, mind, and spirit. So I just call it wellness. I wrote the book Fear Unraveled, which is what probably brought many of you to this group today. And that's a picture of me at my little launch party that I had, which was so amazing back in 2019. I also work as a professor. I teach wellness coaching to 4th-year kin students. I'm also teaching biology right now to personal support workers, but that was just because they needed somebody and I was available. I educate about essential oils. I'm a mom of 2 adult children now and the wife to Dan, who we've been together for over 30 years. So that's a little bit about me. Before we get started though, I just want you to think for a moment, what does your abundant life look like? Because everything that I teach and everything that I work with is to move you from where you're at to where you want to be. But if you don't know where you want to be, it's really hard to create it. And so you always want to be thinking about what you envision for yourself. And that could mean good health. It could mean, good relationships. It could mean more confidence in yourself. It could mean maybe more money. It could mean more time freedom. Whatever that looks like to you, you always want to keep a vision of that when you're working through the things that you're going to be trying to do with the book and with the program that I'm all about. Okay, so a little bit of an introduction and some things before we get into the actual coaching. There's 3 pieces to understanding this drive that you might have and what probably brought you here today. So the first thing you need to think about is this idea of discontent. It is 100% normal for you to feel discontent in areas in your life. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not being ungrateful. You're not, doing all these wonderful spiritual things and failing because you still have discontent. It is a natural, normal thing that actually comes from your soul. To feel discontent is 100% normal. Okay, so that's the first thing that I want you all to please realize, that it's important that you recognize that you will have areas of discontent. You're also going to have areas of longing, that place where you want to be. So if you're discontent with maybe your emotional health, then you have longing to have better emotional health. That is what's going to drive you and help you to create that vision of an abundant life for you. So those are 2 pieces that are very normal. And when you spend time tapping into those, you're actually going to find yourself evolving, getting healthier, getting happier, getting more abundant. The piece that we have to watch out for, though, is that fear, right? Fear and discontent are different. They're not the same thing. Fear is that part of you that wants to keep you in that place of longing, but never getting there. right? Holding you back, keeping you stuck. Fear is ego driven. Discontent and longing is soul driven. And so I spend a lot of time tapping into my discontent and my longing so that I can hear the voice of my soul, that I can understand what is really going on in my life, what's making me, what's my purpose, what's making me tick, why am I needing to feel better, right? But fear, I spend as much time figuring out why fear keeps getting in the way. Now, the other thing that we all have to understand is there's a whole bunch of universal laws that honestly, I wish, like my dream is that they will start to teach this in school, okay? There are so many universal laws that govern us as human beings that people don't know about, okay? And so one of the key laws that you have to understand in order to move towards your abundant life, the life you long for, is this law of vibration. Okay, so the law of vibration, it's really simple if you think of a thermostat. Okay, you're sitting in your living room and you're getting really hot. The experience you're having is that you're too hot and it's making you feel sweaty and uncomfortable, discontent. You walk over to the thermostat and you notice it's at 24 degrees and you're going, oh my goodness, no wonder I'm so hot. I need to dial and turn it to 19 so that the air conditioner will kick in and make it cooler. So you set the vibration before it actually can get cooler, right? That's how our thermostat works. Then you wait a little bit and the air conditioner does its thing, and the next thing you know, the experience happens where you are now feeling cooler. That's how life works. Your discontent is a vibration over here. It's a certain vibration and you're not liking it. And in order to go over to your longing, it's a different vibration. You have to start thinking about and setting that vibration to where you want to go before you're going to physically experience it. See, humans in our normal third dimensional world, we think that we have to take all these actions, right? We have to take all these actions, and all these actions are going to get us to the outcome that we want to experience. But it happens first as a thought, as a vibration that then gets matched and becomes a reality. So let me give you another example. This shirt that I'm wearing, it was once a thought. Everything is created twice. That's what this statement's about. Everything is created twice. That means that everything starts as a thought before it becomes a reality. This shirt was once someone's thought. They had the idea to create this shirt with the exact design, color, material, etc. The line down the front, the V shape, the seam down the side. It was a thought that someone had, and then they put it into reality. Okay, so everything is created twice. If you want to get to that longing, it's a thought first, and you have to get to that vibrational match to become a match to that reality. So the exercises that I'm going to work with you are some of the exercises to help you change that vibration, to move from discontent to longing, and to get rid of the fear that's trying to get in the way. Everything I teach, that is the premise of what I'm teaching, okay? So we have to know about your beliefs, because beliefs arise from your past experiences. So when you experience something, you always start to have a belief about it. You feel something, you have thoughts, and they become your belief. And that determines your current vibration. So stuff that happened in the past and stuff that's happening right now determines the vibration. So if this vibration does not match, if you're not happy with it, if you're not liking what you're experiencing, we've got to change the vibration. Well, how do we do that? We got to change the belief. And that's what the book Fear Unraveled helps you with. Okay. It helps you to tap into your beliefs, change them so that you can change your vibration and create that abundant life that you deserve, that you desire, that you long for. So is that making sense to everybody before we go any further? Is there any questions about that? Okay. Janice will let me know if there is. Okay, so I got to talk about the elephant in the room, because here's the thing. Whenever you attend something for free, at the end, they're going to sell you something. And I don't want anybody to be sitting here wondering if I'm trying to sell you something, because of course I'm trying to sell you something. I'm trying to sell you the tools that are going to move you from the vibration of discontent to the vibration of abundance. Okay. But there's no secrets. There's no like, oh my God. In fact, true story, I've been trying to work with advertising and marketing people. And they either fire me or I fire them because they don't get me. They're all asking me, where is my big ticket item? You see, because it's all very cookie cutter. You're supposed to have a program that you sell for $1,000 to $3,000. And then you're supposed to have a high ticket item where it would cost someone about $10,000 to work with you. And even the marketing is like a cookie cutter, like the advertisements, all cookie cutter. And I'm like, yeah, that's not me. I don't have a high ticket item. And my program doesn't cost $3,000. And they're like, well, and they don't know what to do with me. So they either fire me or I fire them until I find someone who gets me, because I'm working on a completely different level. So I can't use the things that everybody else uses. But let me tell you, what I offer you is the quality, if not better, than what other people are offering you for a much, much higher price. Okay. So what do I sell? I sell two things only. There's only two things that I sell. The first is the Abundant Life Method. It's your how-to program, heal the past, change your vibration to get to where you want to go. I focus on these 5 pillars: your health, both emotional and mental, your relationships, your money relationship, yourself, your relationship with yourself, and your higher power, your intuition. It goes with the book. Okay. So you actually get the book in a digital form. A lot of you have it in the hard copy, which you can get on Amazon, but you get a digital form of the book and these 5 videos that go deeper into the book with each one of these pillars. So it focuses on each pillar. And then, of course, it's a membership. So you have access to the membership site that has the videos, has the workbooks, has some meditations, and access to me. And then, of course, we have our Facebook group. So it's $222 Canadian one time. That's it. You have lifetime access. It's not $3,000 like the marketing people keep telling me it should be. Okay. And for this week, if you use the code Unleashed24, you can get $24 off. Okay. It isn't going away. It's going to be available forever. The price, I can't say the price will go up. It definitely won't go down. I can't say it will ever go up, but I also can't say it won't go up. But it's not going anywhere. You don't have to feel pressured or anything. But if it speaks to you and you're looking for that help, then this is an option. The book is an option. I think getting together with a little study group would be really cool. Finding a couple of people who want to do it and you guys do it together and hold each other accountable and talk about it. That would be, I think, an amazing way to get this coaching and make it fun. But that was just me. That's how I would do it. And then the other thing I sell is essential oils. Okay. Again, no big secret. Many of you are already on my essential oil team. If you are a member of the Abundant Life Method, you are automatically going to get a free wellness questionnaire that I can help you to figure out what essential oils would be good for you. You don't have to use essential oils if you don't want to, but they're part of the changing of your vibration. And unique to only me in all of the world of doTERRA, The only person who does your essence signature is me. And so as a member of Abundant Life Method or a doTERRA customer of mine, I create this special essence, yes, which is a blend of oils that matches your vibration of where you're supposed to be 100%. Okay, so that's all I sell, ladies and gentlemen. If it resonates with you, perfect. And if not, I have lots of free stuff that I offer as well. So let's get to what we're here for today. My commitment to you today and always is to always offer you hope, honesty, to share everything I know. So don't let the price point fool you. I give you everything. Don't let the size of this book fool you. It has all the best tools in it. Tried and tested process. I've done this for 15 years now on myself and so many lovely people that have been on this journey with me. I take complex concepts and I make them simple. The stuff that's in here is high level, like very high level understandings that I take them and make them seem so basic that some people don't realize the level at which you are truly learning, which is one of my gifts. And I take out years of learning where it took me 15 years to do it. You guys are going to get it so much faster because I've done all the work for you and made it simple. Okay, so that's always my commitment. Today, though, what we're going to do is we're going to use 3 of the exercises from the guide. We're going to start with mirroring, which is on page 18 and page 49. Then we're going to move to reframing, page 50 and 65, and then the body scan at the very end, which is page 75. So we have 3 students or clients that are volunteering to work with each of these. So I'll be introducing them in a moment, but I'm very, very grateful because I wanted to make it real life. I didn't want to just talk about it. But while I'm demonstrating with them, I want you guys to do it as well. I want you to take your pen and paper and write down the things I'm asking so you can get the value of this coaching as though you were working one-on-one with me, which I don't do very often anymore. But if you did, it would cost you at least $200. So take advantage of this opportunity and really use this. Okay, so thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's let the healing begin. We're going to start to work with Karen, is the volunteer for the mirroring exercise. So thank you so much, Karen. So we're going to start with mirroring. Mirroring, I'm going to tell you right now, it takes a while to get, okay? You would not be the only one if you said to me, I don't get this mirroring stuff. Like, what? So let's make sure we're all on the same page. First of all, what is mirroring? There's a sentence that captures what mirroring is all about. So pay attention to this sentence. I release what bothers me about me when I think of you. So Janice, maybe you could type that in the chat box for me. I release what bothers me about me when I think of you. We call it a mirror because we're literally taking a situation or a person and we're holding it up to ourselves and we're looking at it and saying, this is telling me something about myself. Always, 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 it's telling you something about yourself. In psychology, Carl Jung calls this projection. So this is not just some new agey thing. This is actually a psychology theory as well. So how does it work? We take something that is bothering us. So how do I know if it's a mirror? It does, everything is a mirror, but mirrors tend to be something that you're looking at that bothers you. So that's your first clue. Something bothered you. What does it mean to bother? Okay, well, it irritates me, or we sometimes call it a trigger. It triggers you. You can't get it off your head, right? You keep trying to get it out of your mind, but it just keeps showing up again. Anyone have that happen? right? You try and you try and you try, but you just can't get that thought off your mind. And you have a conversation in your own head about what's going on. How could she? Oh my God, why is that happening? Uh, anyone relating? Show some hands here. Yeah, okay. This happened to me this week. I use mirroring all the time. It happened this week. I had two students from two different classes send me what I felt was a very nasty email. Now, I know it's a mirror because it triggered me, meaning it made me feel annoyed, pissed off, bothered, right? And so now I'm like, oh, okay, what the heck's the mirror here? What's really going on? And so I had to sit with it and realize what it was triggering in me about me. They blamed me for something when it was truly their lack of doing that caused the results, but they were blaming me. They were accusing me. And so, why would that be a mirror? Because guess what? I blame myself for everything all the time. I think it's my responsibility that those students do really well and that I must have done something wrong if they're saying I did something wrong. And I had to stop. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. No, 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 no. Leanne, you need to stop thinking that way. You need to stop taking responsibility for everybody else and know that people have to take their own responsibility. They didn't do well enough because they did not do well enough. It wasn't your responsibility. Anyone else have that ever happen to you, that you take on responsibility for everyone else? Yeah. So that's how mirroring showed up in my life this week. And so I literally used mirror. Now, I could have just been pissed off at them, thought that they were being whiny students who don't have any integrity or, have no respect for me or don't, know how good they've got it. I could have just sat there with that. How many of you have done that? How many of you have felt something by someone and then just said it to their, them? That's what mirroring's all about. It's helping you to realize how your vibration attracted that experience. And then the beauty of it is you change how you feel about yourself and them. None of those negative thoughts can stay if I start to think, oh, wait a minute, that was me attracting that. They were just a vibrational alignment to what I was putting out. So I don't have those feelings about them now. It's like, you know what? They're students, they're worried, they're stressed, whatever. And then I can find a positive way to be with them as well as change the experience for myself. Immediately following that, the one of them emailed me within 5 minutes of me having this, finishing the mirroring, emailed me and said, you know what? I've changed my mind. I'm fine. Thank you very much. The class was amazing. I wish you all the best. I was like, what? Just like that, she changed her attitude because I changed my vibration. I was no longer in alignment with her whiny vibration. It was amazing. So let's work with Karen. So each of you, what I want you to do now is I want you to think about something that has bothered you. It could be a person or a situation. So what's bothering you? What's really causing you to be triggered by what someone said, what someone's doing, situation that you're in that is not the way you want it to be? Okay? So I'm going to stop talking for a couple of seconds to give you a chance to write that down. Yes?
I sent you a couple of questions. So is that what you want me to do, or keep track of them for the end?
Keep track of them for me, Janice.
Okay.
Because I won't pay attention to the chat while I'm talking, but if you keep track of them for me, then after each section, I'll ask you. But if it's really important, then interrupt me.
Okay. All right. Got it.
Okay, so while everyone's got their thing that's bothered them. Karen, I'm going to use you as an example so that we can work this together. Karen did share with me in prep for this, just really basic. There's a situation that's going on in her personal life, and it actually isn't really hers, right? So this is interesting. You can use mirroring for other people. So as a coach, when you tell me something, I'm already mirroring it. If you're telling me what's bothering you, I already can see the mirror for you, right? I use it as a mother. When my kids are bothered by something, I'm already looking for what the mirror is so I can help them through it. So you can use this for yourself, but guys, you can use this to help anyone in your life. So Karen is going to do something slightly different. This is not her mirror. We're going to use this to help her to understand what's going on in someone in her life situation. So I know, this is what I know. I know someone close to her had surgery, and unfortunately, the surgery hasn't worked as well as it needs to. The person is still struggling with pain, and the surgeon is not available to see this person or help this person at this time. Is that about synopsis of it, Karen?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so clearly this might even be bothering Karen, to be honest. We'll find out in a minute, but clearly this is bothering the person who it's happening to, right? So Karen, I'm going to ask you to first just share with me the things that are bothering this person. So when they're talking to you about it, and when they're, sharing with you what they're going through, what are some of the things they're saying are bothering them? So just one. So you who are here, you're now going to start to write everything that's bothering you about this situation. And this is where you get to be really like brutally honest, right? You don't have to use nice words. Like here you're writing down everything about the person or everything about the situation that's annoying, that's bothering you, that's not fair. Write it all down. So Karen, share with me what this person has been saying is bothering them.
The amount of pain that is still happening. The fact really that no one seems to be taking it seriously enough to address it would be the two main things. And the lack of mobility right now because of the pain. So it's a disruption in their life.
Okay, so tell me a little bit more about the amount of pain. What is it about the pain that's bothering this person? The fact that they're in pain, what bothers them about that?
Because it's affecting the way of life. So from very active to basically minimal type of activity.
Okay. And what about the lack of mobility? So they were very active and now they have minimal activity. What bothers them about having less activity?
With the current situation right now, it's not being able to participate in a lot of things that would normally be happening. So, walking trails, just getting out and experiencing life.
Okay. Now, let me just ask you, is there anything that's bothering you about this situation?
The same. I feel that it's that, minimal lack of activity. So it prevents us from doing things together.
Okay. So this is not uncommon that someone else's situation could be your same mirror, okay? Okay, so what's the next step? The next step now is to actually do the mirroring. But there's a hand up. Does that mean you have a question, Sharon? Oh, no, okay. No worries. Okay, so now this next step, so the first step was to write down everything that was bothering you about the situation or person. Kind of feels yucky, right? Feels limiting, feels very contracting, feels very much discontent, but it's also helping you, believe it or not, to move towards your longing. This is a gift. It's a lesson. It's showing you something about yourself. So what is it showing you about yourself? Let's figure that part out. So next step now is to look at it from the perspective of a mirror. So the first part of a mirror is that it's a direct reflection of me, meaning I'm somehow doing this, experience this, feeling this way, or it's a refraction, meaning the opposite. So I'm not like this at all. I'm the opposite of this. So for example, the girls who messaged me complaining about in that email, they were being very much that they weren't responsible, that it was the quiz, or that it was, they were saying that it was someone else's responsibility. They weren't holding themselves responsible. When I look in the mirror, my first question is, do I not hold myself responsible? That would be the direct mirror. And many times that's the truth. It's like, oh crap, I'm not holding myself responsible. However, the opposite is, no, frig, I hold myself too responsible. They messaged me and now it triggered me feeling like I did something wrong. That's still a mirror. And equally bad, feeling too responsible for something or not being responsible at all are equally limiting to your energy and going to keep you contracted. Okay, so you need to take yours now, each one of those things that bother you, you need to try it on now and taste it to see, is it a direct mirror or is it a refraction? What is it telling you about yourself? Okay, so with Karen, if I kind of, Karen's is unique because it's a very different way of having to mirror, which I'm grateful for, because it just shows you the diversity of how to actually use a mirror. In this case, I'm going to lump it all into one sort of comment, Karen. And so we have this idea that there is less activity than what is wanting to be done. Okay, so this person is having the inability to do the amount of activity that they say that they want to do. And so when you look in the mirror for this, is this a direct, like, is this true? Is this person really not doing the things that they want to be doing?
Yes.
Okay.
That's true. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. So this person is really not doing the things that they want to be doing.
Right.
Okay. And if they really are not doing the things that they want to be doing, it's strictly because of the pain in their body.
Correct.
Okay. And no one seems to be taking it seriously.
Correct.
Okay, so let's mirror that. Does this person take this pain seriously?
Very.
Okay. Is it possible that this person's taking this pain too seriously?
I believe so.
Okay. So if this person is possibly taking this pain too seriously, can you start to see what the mirror is? If they're taking it so seriously, then the mirror is the opposite of what it appears. It appears that people are not taking it serious enough, but he's taking it too seriously.
That's my belief.
Okay. That can be as simple as what a mirror is, showing a person, wow, I'm taking it too seriously. If this person thought they were taking it too seriously, could that change any of their actions that follow?
I think it could. Yes.
Okay. And so if they started to think that it wasn't as serious as they perceive it to be, what might they do a little differently?
I don't know. It's a tough one because first of all, I'm not in the position with the pain. I'm not experiencing anything.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit of a mind shift for sure that needs to happen. So there's not so much focus on it because we all know what you focus on keeps recreating.
Yeah.
So that would be where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
There's not another oil this person can use.
Yeah. So I'm kind of hesitant right now because this is leading into another tool that I wasn't planning on teaching today. But I got to go with the flow, and then people need this because this might be why people are struggling with mirroring. They're like maybe trying to figure out how to make it work in situations that it's like, doesn't really work as well with this one. Other than it did mirror, I really do believe it mirrors the idea of whether something needs to be taken as seriously or not as seriously as it's being taken. So that's what this mirror would start me off with. If I was doing this for myself, that's where it would lead me. I'd be like, I'd really have to start questioning this idea of seriousness, because if I'm being mirrored that people are not taking it serious, I have to check in and say, okay, well, am I taking it serious? Maybe I'm like doing too much and making the pain worse. That would be one situation. If it's a direct mirror, then I'm not taking it seriously enough. But if that's not the case, and it's like, no, it's the opposite. I'm taking this very serious. I'm like stopping myself from doing pretty much everything because I'm afraid of this pain, or this pain is stopping me. So can everyone see how this is mirrored? Okay, it's either one or the other. And then depending on which one it is, that's what leads us to our next tool. So the next tool is going to be the reframing tool. We have to reframe this idea. Once we identify which one it is, we have to then reframe it. Now, Karen, you can continue with this exercise from your own perspective now.
Okay.
Okay. And asking yourself the same question. Are you taking it not serious enough, or are you taking it too serious? And then you can continue to work with it from that perspective.
Okay.
Okay, so let's pause here and take your questions about mirroring. And Janice, you can ask me those questions now as well.
We don't have any questions as of yet.
Okay, but you said you sent me something earlier?
Oh, I did. They were, does your yes change as your vibration changes?
Okay, no, it's really cool. The yes is based on what your soul vibration truly is. And so the oils are helping to bring you up to that vibration. And so they will be with you, the 7 of them, continuously. So no, they don't change.
And the other question was, can you go back one slide? And that was at the very beginning. So I'm not sure which slide she was referring to.
Okay. The person who wanted that, can you remember which slide?
Hi, Leanne. We can do that at the end. It's Sajal. I just wanted to see, take a picture of that pricing and what was offered, but we can do that at the end. That's not about mirroring. So we'll just move on and come back.
Okay, and there'll be a link. I'll put a link so that everyone can see the landing page for that with all that information.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Okay, so with the mirroring exercise, does everybody have something that they're bothered by and have an understanding now as to what it could be mirroring for you? Okay, I want to really make sure that everybody has this before we move on, because the next step is going to be to change it, right? Okay, was it easier than it sounded to do that exercise? It gets better with practice. Okay, so thank you very much, Karen. Now we're going to move on to Randy, and Randy is going to help us go through what I call reframing or reconstructing that thought. So we can't have that thought. That thought is a low vibration thought that is keeping us in the place of discontent or fear and not letting us move to where we want to go. But it's helping us to understand what we need to change, right? Can everybody see that it's helping you to understand what you need to change, what you need to start thinking differently about? So now there's lots of ways to reframe. So I'm going to reframe Karen's example first before I go on further, because it keeps sticking here in my head and I'm like, I got to deal with it. Okay, I'm going to throw in another tool that maybe I don't think it's in the book. I don't even know if I put it in the book, to be honest. Okay, write this one down. There is nothing I do not want. There is nothing I do not want. Whew, that's deep. There is nothing I do not want. So, Karen, if this person is in pain, then sadly, I have to say, there is nothing he does not want. Therefore, it means they want this pain. Okay, some of you might have just gotten like, what the heck? No way, no how, no. Yeah, on the level of vibration, I want this thing. Okay, there's nothing I do not want means that whatever's happening, I want it. So that responsibility that I felt when I was triggered by those students, I want that responsibility. They're not putting it on me. I'm choosing to think that way. I'm choosing that. Now, my reason, there's multiple reasons, and I've done my work to know what those reasons are. Okay. They could be that you're not deserving. They can be that you have a lack mindset. All the things that this book is going to help you with are all the reasons that could make you want this very thing that is making you feel horrible. Yes, I know, Shannon, it is mind-blowing. When I learned this, I was like, whoa, there is nothing I do not want. Some people feel very disempowered at first, but that is an empowering statement. It just puts your ability to change it in your power. Okay. And what is the pain stopping the person from? Living the life that he or she says they want. So that also goes to say that person may not be truly vibrating or ready for the life they say they want. Again, maybe they don't feel deserving. Maybe it's too good to be true. Maybe they still have lack thinking. I don't know what the reason is, but can you see now when you mirror it and you come to that reality and you add that reframing to it, how that could change it for you? Is that starting to make more sense to you, Karen?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so let's go to another reframing tool. So that's one reframing tool to remind yourself there's nothing you do not want. So this terrible situation, you somehow are attracting it for your growth, for your, lessons, for what you need to be doing in this lifetime. Okay. Randy, we're going to work with you now. So I don't need to know all the details, but I need to know just a little bit about what you came to realize your mirror was. What's the theme or what's the topic that your mirror is around? You'll have to unmute yourself though.
I kind of think, I'm not sure if it's the retraction, but I'm kind of in the same boat. Like, I'm accountable for others. And I put that on myself.
Okay. Yeah.
And so it makes me feel also not living up to others' expectations.
Okay. Perfect.
So maybe I put the expectations too highly on myself. So it's me not living up to my expectations.
Okay.
of maybe perfection, you know, you have to achieve that perfection to.
Okay, perfect. So do you find that helpful to know that now that that situation that's really what's going on with that situation? Does that give you
Mhm.
any kind of like, oh, okay, that's a little different way to look and feel about it?
Yeah, it was kind of liberating, like
Yeah.
a little bit, and disappointing too.
I can appreciate that for sure. Been there, know that feeling.
Mhm.
But we can't just keep it this way. Okay, now that you recognize it,
Right, and I feel stuck there. You know what I mean? Like that's where I feel stuck, like I'm not able to, I'm not sure how to move it.
right, which is great because that's why you were chosen to be the volunteer for this, because there are tools to get you unstuck. So the first one we're going to use, well, no, sorry, I do need a little bit more information from you about the perfection. So when you identify what you're feeling, sometimes you have to ask yourself some extra questions. And I'm feeling inspired to ask you, what would the fear be if you're not perfect? So for all of you, whatever you came to realize, ask yourselves, okay, well, what about this? Like, what is the fear around it? So if I can't do this, or if I'm not responsible, then what? Right? So Randy, what is the
Um,
fear around not being perfect and not holding on to all of this responsibility?
well, rejection, the feeling of being unworthy, not deserving,
Okay.
being excluded.
Okay. So those are, again, all really heavy, like contracting vibration, all discontent that would keep you on this, level where all those things are going to be happening.
Can I say though, I feel like this is a double thing though, because I feel like I put that on myself to act perfect, like that I have to be perfect in order to be accepted. But I also wonder if I have high expectations of others to react to me in a certain way.
Yeah, absolutely. Those
So
would
it's not just me that I know that I do that, but I also have maybe that expectation that my expectations don't get met.
exactly. Yep.
Mhm.
It all interconnects. And those of us that relate to it, because we feel, I can tell you right now, my high expectations of myself get mirrored in the fact that other people can't meet my expectations.
And I can't meet my own.
Yeah, of course. Right. Absolutely. Okay. So this story that you're telling,
Mhm.
it sounds kind of like this. And we have a judge and jury here. We have a group of lovely people who have different ages, different ethnic backgrounds, different experiences, and they're going to be told your story. Okay. It's almost like we're a judge and jury here. And the story says something along the lines of, I have these high expectations of myself that I can't even live up to. I think I even put those expectations on other people and they can't live up to it. And what they end up doing is rejecting me, because and excluding me because I'm unworthy and probably not deserving. So that was your story. Do you want to add anything or take anything away from that story?
I don't know if this relates to it, just popped in my head was that I'm afraid to feel, I'm afraid to feel happy, because if I feel happy or feel good, it will be squashed. Does that go along with that maybe?
If it popped in, then it does.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
That's all I thought of.
Okay, so now this is where we need our audience's help. Okay. You guys heard this story of perfection and you heard how it played out for Randy. Can you start to give me other ways to look at it? So even though it's the story that's played out, how else could that story play out? And it could be another negative, contracting feeling. But I'm looking for a few ideas that would take this same story and turn it around to make it uplifting, empowering, and positive. Any thoughts on how that story could sound differently, another way to perceive the experience that Randy is going through? Jen, you want to unmute yourself? Go ahead. Yeah.
The people, your expectations for the people around you are higher because the universe is trying to draw you to a better vibration with more people that will allow you to be happy and have the happiness that you deserve.
Okay. I like that. And what I would say to that is, so just, you said that it's maybe pushing you towards, it's kind of like maybe the people that you're experiencing this aren't your people. Maybe they're not the right people for you to be focusing on or being with, right? Is that kind of what you meant, Jen?
Yeah, and that the right people will accept you for exactly who you are, and you won't be excluded.
Okay, so I like that story. Christina, you said you put your hand up. Do you have something to add? Yeah.
I was going to offer another take on the story.
Perfect, thank you.
The people around me have high expectations of me because they see me as a capable human being.
Oh, I love that one. I got goosebumps with that one.
Mhm.
I like that one. Thank you. Okay, anyone else? And this is the idea, right? See, we all have different perspectives. And so we're just trying on a few different. Anyone else have a different perspective to consider?
Leanne?
Karen? Yep.
This was just interesting to share with the group when you and I were talking prior to today, and I was talking about losing my internet connection, and you told me why you feel that happens. Well, when you were explaining, when putting the story together, I lost the connection. So I'm thinking maybe we're a little similar, Randy and I, because I obviously need to hear that again. So I'm sorry for everybody else who heard it, but can you just repeat the story?
Okay, yeah. And Teresa is asking what Christina said. So we'll get to that in a second. So the story that Randy has going on in her vibration that is being mirrored to her in her experiences is that she thinks that she has perfectionism. She has high expectations of herself that she can't live up to, and that she has high expectations of others who are not able to live up to it either. That ends up making her feel rejected, excluded because of unworthiness, not feeling deserving enough, and even afraid to be happy.
Okay.
Okay.
So my thought there, could that have anything to do with, if I can kind of use myself, because I feel where Randy's coming from, is it a control issue, you know, because you're not willing, excuse me, you're not letting go. You always want to control things, you're being control. So I'm not sure how that relates.
Okay, so we've got three different perceptions now. There's Randy's perception and how she's seeing things, right? Then Jen said, well, maybe you're just with the wrong vibration, that this is pushing you towards a new group of people who are going to accept you for who you are. Christina said that people have those expectations of you because you are capable and they are looking to you for that. Did I capture that correctly, Christina? Yeah. Okay. Now Karen's bringing in a third perspective that says, you know, maybe it's because you're learning about control and that you're needing to let go of some of the control that you're trying to hold on to, which truly is Karen's, because everybody noticed what her voice did. Her internet connection went and then her voice got all, that's because we're shifting something here. And it's happening with a little bit of resistance, but it's happening. That's an example of some shifting happening. Exciting. Okay, so Randy, we've got three so far.
Mhm.
Now, the ones that you're doing for yourselves, ladies, you're doing the exact same thing to your mirror, right? You're looking at some different perspectives of how you could look at your own mirror. Now, here's the thing, there is no right answer. As you can see, there's a multiple ways of looking at it. The only piece that's important is you need a different way to look at it than the one that's keeping you stuck. So you get to pick. So Randy, of those ones, did anything spark something new in you, or did you resonate with any of those three so far?
I resonated with all of them, actually. I mean, I'm afraid to feel that I'm good at something. So I don't, my mirror would be to not see myself as capable. But I definitely know I'm trying to control situations, which prevents me to from letting it go because I want to fix everything.
Yeah.
So I feel like I have to fix it. So I need to control. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because I feel like the fixing's part of control.
Yeah.
I'm
Absolutely.
trying to have an outcome that I expect.
Yeah.
You know, like, whereas
Yeah.
I need to let that go and let it be. Let it be.
So we have to go back now to what we said at the beginning, which
Mhm.
is you are in a state of discontent right now.
Mhm.
These situations, and I'm sure you got a lot of confirmation of this shit happening in your real life, right?
Mhm.
All of you ladies that are doing this mirroring, I bet you got lots of examples of how this is really true, right? But now we know that your vibration is what's making it true. Everything is created twice. You think it, therefore it gets created. So in order for it to change, we have to change the way we think about it first. We couldn't change what we thought until we actually knew what the heck we thought. So now that you know what you think, Randy,
Mhm.
you've got to decide what you would prefer to think. What do you long for?
I think well, no, I don't think I know. I long to be with people that vibe like me. And I long to think, um, to let go of expectations and to feel capable, to
Okay.
feel good, to be able to get myself unstuck, to move forward.
Okay. Okay. So this,
Sometimes,
yeah, go ahead.
but there's another word that popped out in my head too, and it's loyalty. Sometimes you feel, does that make sense? It just
Yeah.
popped in there. Like it's hard to move forward too, because you just feel a certain loyalty to so I need to let that go, letting go, I guess. I want to be able to let it go. I don't want to carry it because it feels heavy. I can feel that weight of it. So
Yeah. Okay, so in order to move from discontent
Mhm.
to a place where you have, connection with people you vibe with, to feel capable and to be feeling like you're moving forward and getting to those things that you want for yourself, we have to make this shift first and foremost in our head and our heart. So it starts with your visualization of it. So picturing it, daydreaming about it, playing with it in your mind.
Mhm.
You can't focus on what's happening because you'll stay there. So this is where our affirmations and our visualizations come in. So visualizing where you want to be, okay? And affirming as though it's already happening. And doing this every single day, multiple times a day, to really get that shift from happening. So here's an example of mine. I keep it right here on my desk. I have a little sheet of paper that has 5 of my statements that I'm working with right now. And they're stated, I am happy and grateful now that. So in your case, it'd be, I'm happy and grateful now that I've got the people who I vibe with. I'm happy and capable now that I'm happy and grateful now that I am capable. So you take whatever it is that you're trying to get to, which is the opposite of what you mirrored, right? The truth is, it's the opposite of whatever your mirror was. You don't want to be excluded. You want to feel connected,
Mhm.
right? You don't want to have to be perfect. You want to be accepted for who you are.
Mhm.
Right? You want
Yeah.
to keep evolving and growing to be the best version of you, but that doesn't look like perfection, right? So these are all the things that you long for, and those mirrors were just showing you.
Mhm.
So now you think about it from that perspective. So you create yourself some visuals, create yourself some affirmations, and you start affirming them, and you start telling yourself a new story, because everything's created twice. It has to be a thought before it becomes a reality. Okay, how's that sounding, guys?
Great.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Randy. Now we're going to move on to the third part. And so it's one thing to do the, so if you think about what we've done, we first had to identify the discontent and the fear. And we did mirroring as our example. There's other tools we can use, but I love mirroring. Then we had to reframe it, right? We had to use a tool to reframe it. We used the one that we shared with Karen. There's nothing you do not want, to have to change the way we thought about it. And then we used the judge and jury. We got perceptions that could alter it. And Randy actually resonated with all of yours, which is absolutely how it works, right? Energetically, we're all connected. Now, though, it's still in you. So although I'm telling you use visualizations and affirmations, the problem is energetically, it's still in you. And I liken this to your computer system. You know, when you get an email, you read your email and you delete it and it goes into your junk mail. It's still there though, right? So we just deleted it right now, but it's still in your junk mail. Then when you go to your junk mail, it goes into your recycle bin, right? You delete your junk and it goes into your recycle bin. It's still there though. It's still connected to you energetically. And even when you empty your recycle bin, there are people that can still find that somewhere on your computer. So we now have to remove it etherically, energetically, in a way that is not just thinking. We have to now remove it more in a mindful way. So we're going to do what I love to do, which is called a body scan. Okay. So for this, you guys are all going to do a little bit of a meditation, visualization. It's more of a visualization. You're going to just follow my instructions. And you can answer the questions without writing them down. You're just going to think about the questions. Shannon is going to be our volunteer for this one. But Shannon, because I don't want to distract everybody, what's going to happen is when I ask you the question, you're actually not going to vocalize it for me. You're simply going to raise your hand when you have the answer. Okay, so let me see. Can I see your hand raise? Okay, good. So when I ask a question, then if she raises her hand, I know that she's come to the answer and I'll move on to the next question. If I was doing this one-on-one, you would actually say it out loud to me. But because I don't want your answers distracting people from their answers, we're not going to say it out loud. Okay? So what you're all going to do is make yourselves comfortable with your eyes closed. And don't worry, I'm going to be focused on Shannon. In fact, let's go to speaker view. Why is Karen showing up as the speaker? Never mind. Okay, I'm the speaker, but I wasn't showing up that way. Okay, so I'm going to just be focusing on Shannon. You guys are all going to be getting yourselves comfortable, closing your eyes, and let's start with some deep breaths. Just breathe in through your nose and then let it all out. You're going to do that a few times, just breathing in as deeply as you can. Hold it for a moment and then exhale, letting it all go. And just let your body settle. Just let it get comfortable. Notice the surface beneath you, if your back is resting. Notice that you can notice. Notice that you can notice your body and how your body feels in this moment. Notice that you can notice your breathing. As your breath rises your chest in, and as you exhale, your chest lowers. Notice that you can notice the way that breath moves. The pace, the depth. Notice that you could direct your attention to your feet and move that attention up your legs. Notice that you can notice and bring your attention to your spine, to your shoulders as you let your shoulders drop and relax. Notice that you can notice your face and whether your jaw is relaxed. And so just notice how your body feels in this moment. And give thanks to yourself for taking this time out. Give thanks to your body for all that it does for you and for the awareness that you're about to receive. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to think about that situation that you were mirroring. I want you to hold that thought of that mirror and that situation in your awareness now. And as you begin to allow yourself to feel it, you're going to notice that your body perhaps changes. If this mirror resides within you energetically, where within your body may it reside? And so just bring that awareness to you now. Notice where within your body it starts to feel different. There may be more than one spot, but just allow your focus and awareness to go to one area in your body now. And so Shannon, let me know when you have found that area. Okay, now I want you to really focus on that area within your body. And I want you to begin to notice if this area had a shape, what shape would it be? And just let me know when you know what shape it would be. And still focusing on that area and that shape, notice the size of the shape. Is it large, medium, or small? And just notice the size. And still focused on that shape and that size in that area, begin to notice if it has any sensations physically. Does it have a temperature? Would it be hot, cold, neutral? And as you continue to notice the size, the shape, the temperature, begin to notice if there's any other physical sensations. How does that area begin to feel physically? Okay. And still focused on that physical sensation in that area. Begin to notice how it makes you feel. How does it feel being aware of that sensation within you? What words would you use to describe it? in a moment, you're going to notice that that sensation extends out of you to that situation where we began. It's a cord. And so I want you to imagine that there's this cord coming out of that area in your body, extending out of you and moving outwards towards that situation that you were mirroring. And so for just a moment, notice your cord. Imagine what this cord would look like. How long or short would it be? What material would it be made of? What would this cord look like? And as you become very focused and aware on this cord, this is the releasing that you're going to do. It is time to disconnect the energy of that situation and those thoughts. It's time to disconnect from it. And so just imagine, what would it require for you to disconnect that cord? What could you physically do to remove it from where it connects to your body? And just imagine now that you have that situation, those thoughts, those beliefs that you perceived as a result of it in your hand. And what are you going to do with it? Can you visualize doing something with that and just letting it go? Okay. And now go back to that area within your body. Go back to that spot and just notice how it feels. Notice any changes that are happening as you've released that energy. And imagine that area being filled with positive, happy, empowering thoughts. I am so happy and grateful now that. And allow yourself to think about that place where you truly long to be, the connections, the confidence, the empowerment, the abundance. White, green, and purple are the colors of healing and positive energy. Imagine that area being enveloped in those colors. And just take a deep breath in. Enjoy that new feeling. Allow your body to start to come back to your awareness. Return all normal sensations. Notice your breath again. Notice your breath moving in and out. Notice the surface beneath you. Bring your normal focus and sensations back to your feet, your legs, your spine. Feeling lighter, feeling more positive, healing in all directions of time, and so it is. And just take a couple of moments to regather yourself and come back to here and now. Okay. So that is an example of what I call cord cutting, releasing it energetically. And I do that often. I can tell you, I probably do that several times a week. I've taught myself how to be able to do it to myself, but I am in the process of creating one that would be an audio that you guys will be able to have access to. So I'll keep you posted when that's finally available. That's my favorite meditation of all time. And I use it quite often even to check in with myself. Sometimes if I'm not aware of a mirror, I'll just do a body scan to notice where my energy's off. And then I'll work with that and go in and feel it and think about it and get to that understanding of where I actually can mirror that body scan. So it's one of my favorite tools of all time. Okay, so that's it. You've just done 3 exercises to release and remove. Okay, you had to identify a fear or a limiting belief. Then we did some tools to release it. And now where you go next is you focus on what you want. Okay, you keep focusing on what you want, with the longing that you have, picturing it, affirming it, getting it to be vibrational in you first as a thought before you can actually see it happening. And how long is it going to take? You know, I wish I could tell you how long it would take. And a lot of coaching people will try to tell you just 3 steps and, you know, you're going to, it's not. There's so many factors that are unique to you as a soul that affect the growth and evolution that you're going through. So these tools work 1000%, but how long it's going to take you and what exercises you need to go through and what experiences in life you need to go through, there are so many factors that determine that I can't tell you how long it's going to take you. But I do know if you continue to do this, if you continue to take the time out to do some of these things, even once a week, your life will transform. It has to, by virtue of the laws that govern us. If your life is not transforming, your vibration is staying in the place of discontent or fear. Okay? And you use the discontent and fear to help you know where you're trying to go. And so I don't fear. I don't have a negative relationship with fear at all. I use my fears to help me propel myself further. When I see a fear, I'm like, aha, okay, let's work with you. We're getting over you. Okay. And yes, it feels crappy when I'm going through it, but I recognize it for what it is. Okay. So does anyone have any questions before we go any further? Jen, yeah.
My question was about the yes oils, and I feel like you may have answered it, but I needed to use the ladies' room, so I stepped away from the bathroom. And then when I came back, I heard the tail end of it. Do our yes oils ever change if so if I did mine, I don't know when, but if symptoms have improved, are those always going to be my yes oils?
Yes. Yeah. So
Okay.
I have I have some great gifts that I've been given. And one of them is the ability to connect to people at a soul level. And so the yes oils are your soul's vibration, not your physical vibration. And so it's the vibration that you're trying to reach. And so by using those oils, it's creating a vibration that's trying to attract you to that vibration. So they
always use obviously use the other ones that I need, but always use those 7 oils until my soul has achieved where it's going in this life.
Until you die, you won't achieve your soul's journey. So right, pretty much always. I use mine 2 to 3 times a week after I shower. I just sit down and I do it as a self-care ritual, and I just apply them. I did them this morning before this group. So probably 3 times a week is how often I use my yes oils.
Well, I noticed a lot of changes that have happened in my life, and I've been using them. And then I was just like, can I speed it up? Do I need to change them or?
No, you're doing the right thing. They're helping you. And I've seen your changes, right? So yeah, all of this together works, right? These are all different ways, all different tools to stack to help you get to that change of evolution. So awesome.
Thank you for answering that again.
You're welcome. Randy has noticed as well. Awesome. Okay, so any other questions? Shannon?
Yeah, I just had a quick one. When we were going through that meditation, you said purple, white, and green colors are for healing, you said?
Yeah, they're the energy of healing and like high energy.
Okay.
So your upper energy centers, your heart is represented by green.
Yeah.
Your third eye is represented by indigo or purple, and your crown is white, is the
Okay.
brightest light. So those are three colors that you can picture the
Great.
vibration and energy of to help raise your vibration.
Okay, awesome. And those yes oils, I agree 100% on them. Those are amazing. They're doing great for me too. So yeah, I love the yes oils.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Okay, anyone, if any other questions, and if not, does anyone care to share what it was like for them, this experience? Because we're all in this together and we're all kind of, oh, how do we get to that place in life, right? So I just want to give you the opportunity to share if you feel so inclined to. Donna?
It was interesting. The piece that I chose, but I guess my biggest share would come from the body scan. So when you had brought us to the part where we're coming back, I was astounded by the fact that I had one tear from one eye actually hit me. I didn't even know it was there. And I felt the other one coming down from my other eye. It's
Wow.
interesting.
Beautiful. So what that tells me is that you released something, whether you were consciously aware or not, you had a release. And that's actually something that happens quite often. I sometimes have no idea what I'm thinking about, and I'm bawling during these releases. Like there's no words to describe it. It's just a release, right? And that's what releases are about. The stuff that you subconsciously have in there that you don't even know sometimes are in there. So awesome. And to show you just how quickly it can happen. That took us maybe 15 minutes.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
sorry.
you for sharing that, Donna. That was really, I think, very valuable for people.
Thank you for the experience.
You're welcome. Randy, did you want to share something?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, once the insight comes, you keep getting more. So it's like a snowball effect. Like they just keep coming. So
Yeah. And you know what? Be prepared that in the next days and week, you might continue to get more and more insight, right? Because you're changing your vibration. There's things that need to happen. Just like that thermostat change, it had to trigger the mechanics of the air conditioning to happen before you could start feeling cool. This work that you did is going to trigger a change in your vibration. And so more things can be happening in the days and weeks to come, and exciting, right? Like be excited about it and grateful that you did this for yourselves, right? You guys showed up, did the work, and you're going to benefit from it. Thank you. Sejal, do you have your hand up?
I do. I just wanted to say, like, when we were saying like where you felt it, I felt it in my stomach, and I had my hands there just as we were doing the whole thing. And when you essentially cut the cord and it started to come back, like feel it in that area with the colors and stuff, I literally had a big belly laugh because it felt like such a soft place rather than a hard and like tangled up place. And the visual that I saw when you said if it takes shape was a knot. And then I just kind of felt when the cord cut, the knot just kind of just like a rope would snap back and like release. It was so great. And then I just let out a laugh, and then I remembered, okay, you're on mute, so it's okay. but it was a really nice release. So thank you.
Perfect. And so, we're all unique, and that's amazing. Sometimes you're going to cry. Sometimes you're going to have this, like you said, the release of a belly laugh. Sometimes it's just like a physical release. It's just like you might actually sweat. You might get shivers. And then just that physical release that the body feels lighter. The very first time I ever did one of these, it was really intense. People told me I looked different afterwards. People kept asking me what I did. Did I change something? Did I change my hair, my makeup? And it was just that I released so much that I physically was vibrating differently. You might not notice about me, but there was a time in my life that I only wore black and highlight it with red. And that was a very dark time in my life where I was feeling very depressed and very like closed off and very heavy in my life. And when I started to do some of this, I stopped wearing black. Black is not a color that I wear, and I feel not great if I wear black. It just feels like it really pulls my energy down. And so at that time I was still wearing black, but people started to notice something was different about my energy. And then shortly after that, I also stopped wearing black because I felt energetically different. I was vibrating differently. And so it's going to show up in many, many different ways. You'll look younger, you'll feel better, you'll be healthier. Like it really is the fountain to youth. So awesome. Any other questions? Janice, is there anything in the chat box that I'm not seeing? Lots of thank yous.
No, just all thank yous. And it was a gift. You're a gift. I know that.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Okay, well, I was hoping that we would not need more than our time, and turns out that it's only 11:30. We were good for time. So I'm going to stop recording.